There's no hidden agenda or anything like that, okay? I do want to ask you if you'll consent to let me take a sample of your blood.
Yeah.
Okay.
What a story do I have for you. We have new video of this mom in custody after a day at a park with kids turns violent when she got so angry, she ran over a young girl with her car.
What happened?
I just ran over my friend.
What happened? Did somebody ran over your friend with a car?
And just wait until you hear what she has to say about it. We also have the desperate cries for help as this woman lost it on young kids to the point where she could have killed someone. And now she'll be spending a good portion of her life in prison. We're on The Case, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart. Hey, before we get into this wild story that we are following out of Arizona, I need to talk about our partner, Morgan & Morgan, a huge sponsor of On the Case, which is one of the most watched shows on all of YouTube. And Morgan & Morgan is America's largest personal injury law firm. They're a firm of more than 1,000 attorneys who have recovered $25 billion for more than 500,000 clients. In the past few months alone, a client in Florida received $12 million when insurance offered just $350,000. Then in Pennsylvania, another client was awarded $26 million. That's 40 times the insurer's offer. Morgan & Morgan makes it easy to fight for what you deserve. You can even start a claim from your phone. So if you're injured, you can start a claim at forthepeople.com/OTC. Click the link below or scan the QR code on our screen. It's no secret that kids, they can be mean, especially if they're young teenagers, maybe just about to become teenagers. It's a tough age. They can call names, they can even bully. But nothing a child does should ever be an excuse for what a 30-year-old woman did in Arizona. That's how the interrogation went for 30-year-old Brandy Goach. Now, before we get into what happened when she was in custody, let me lay out for you what this mom did. It's shocking. According to authorities in Maricopa County, Arizona, this all went down in February 2024 at this park in the community of Peoria. It's a suburb of Phoenix. It's about a half hour or so north of Phoenix, just outside Glendale, Arizona. So Goach, this mom, she comes to pick up her kids at the park. And when she gets to the park, according to authorities, her kids were fighting with each other, and that was making it a scene. Then, as she gets her kids separated, she's walking them to her truck, that a boy reportedly called her the B word. So how did this mom respond? Obviously, it's not pleasant to be called the B word, and I'm sure emotions are high. Maybe she's a bit overstimulated because she also just broke up her kids who were fighting. But again, this is a grown woman, a mom, a parent, being called names by children. Goach went over to that boy who called her a name and started pulling him by his hair. And she wasn't done by any stretch. A second boy, according to authorities, came over and called her another name. And what did she do? She didn't use her words. She didn't just walk away with her kids to take care of her own kids' issues. She chased that second boy around with a stick. This is a 30-year-old woman who we're talking about. But believe it or not, for as shocking as this scene is, and according to authorities, a lot of it was caught on camera, but that video hasn't been released as of yet. We're hoping to get it. This situation and this mom reacts even worse and in a way that is even more dangerous. Police say that Goach then gets her truck, puts her kids in the truck, and as she is getting ready to leave, one of the boys causing this scene, apparently calling her names, stands behind her truck, and she claims that he is mocking her and that the boy is dancing. So that boy, according to authorities, then moves to stand by his sister, who is a 12-year-old girl who is there. And that's when this story goes from just sounding outrageous to being something very, very serious and potentially something that was tragic. Because at that point, Goach, the mom, floors it out of her parking space, driving right at the boy and his sister. According to authorities, the boy was able to jump out of the way, but that 12-year-old girl, just a bystander to all of this, she was hit by Goach's truck, and Goach ran her over and broke the girl's leg. Goach wasn't done, believe it or not. She kept driving through the park where authorities say more than a dozen children were, and many of those children were forced to run out of her path. Goach then drove away from the park and she was later arrested. And that is where we get to where we are today in this new video that we have in of her in custody. This is what happened next.
So here's what I want to do. Okay, I've already there's no hidden agenda or anything like that. Okay, I do want to ask you if you'll consent to let me take a sample of your blood.
Yeah.
Okay. There's normally when I do this, I'm reading people a form that is requesting because they've been arrested for DUI. I'm telling you right now that you haven't been arrested for DUI. I'm just looking for you. Are you willing to consent to give me a blood draw?
Yeah.
Okay. So.
If you need to, this is the better arm.
Okay. We'll take a look here in a minute. Okay.
Nurses have better luck with this one.
Okay. That'll work. It's the 27th.
It is the 27th.
It is the 27th?
Yes, February 27th.
Okay. What time do you have?
1808.
1808?
Yes.
It's 6 o'clock already?
Yes, sir.
Holy cow. And can you spell your first name for me?
Brandie.
And your last name?
Gotch.
All right. So this is literally a consent form, okay?
So you can see Brandie here appears a bit emotional in talking to this officer once she is led out of a holding cell. Officers then walk her to get her blood drawn and get a sample of her urine, fingerprints, all of that stuff. Now we do notice that as time went on, as she's kind of chatting, making small talk with the officers, she even seems to be joking. It's almost as if she has completely forgotten or doesn't realize how serious the situation was that she just caused, and that she, in her truck on purpose, charged at children and ran over a 12-year-old girl.
Yeah, I was just like, well, that's pretty cool to get a pair of different kind of shoes, you know. And I have a shoe problem, I must admit. I had like
Another Shein then.
I had
like sneakers with like some fun funky print like that. I got them.
I had like 130 pairs of shoes in my closet. And so just like 2 or 3 months, I got rid of like, I would probably say about 20 pair. And then just recently, I probably added about 15 more.
I go through my closet every winter and every spring. My husband calls it my annual shopping.
So yeah, I am, and you know what I just did?
But for as lighthearted as this woman seems at this point, things are about to get very serious, because then she is led into the interrogation room where her mood and tone changes as she learns the reality of what she's facing.
I'm investigating the incident. So my buddy Dave, he's here with me. Okay. I know you spoke to other Officer Hay about what happened, but I haven't heard what you had to say yet. Could you tell me?
I went to...
Randy, you read your Miranda rights before, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember your rights?
Anything I can say can or will be used against me. I'm allowed to stay quiet if I want.
Right, so you still understand your rights?
Yeah.
You still okay talking with us?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to pick up my kids from the park. I just gotten my youngest from preschool. I pick him up every day from the park at around 4 because I get off of work at 3:30 to go school at 3. And I pull up and there's a group of kids about 7 or 8 of them yelling at mine while they're walking off and throwing stuff at them. And I watched one of the older boys swing his fist at the back of my daughter's head, missing her. But I mean, I'm just like, all right, at this point, I just shut off the truck, get out. I just hand my phone to Michael so that way he can watch Paw Patrol or whatever. And I go over and I'm telling my kids get in the car. And they're saying they're recording us and they're fighting us and they're saying that they're going to kick our ass every day. And that one keeps calling me a stupid and he's saying I'm fat. And at that point, I kept hearing the word over and over and over and over. And I'm just like, I can't do anything about the recording you. They're going to record. It's a free country. Like, I can't do nothing about that. Everyone's got their phones. Like, you have your phone. Record them. Whatever. We're trying to get them into the truck, and my daughter's fighting with them, and then they're following us and yelling and cussing at us, and I turn around, and I'm like, all right, who's calling me a because at this point, one of them called me a and I think it was one of the older boys, and I went up and I grabbed him. I was like, you do not call people a you guys need to understand you can't keep bullying the kids at this park, because we've had these issues. Every day at this park, these kids are over there and they're beating up the little kids there. Called the school, we've complained to them, we asked them if they could do something, because there's supposed to be a teacher there until 4 and never is. We've had problems with bullying at the school with these kids, and nothing ever happened since the beginning of the school year. And I mean, my youngest daughter, she's 9, she just got slammed into the cafeteria table yesterday, put into a chokehold, had her head hit into the cafeteria table yesterday. So I'm pulling up and I'm seeing this, I'm angry, I'm scared, I'm yelling at these kids, I'm trying to get the out of there at this point. I get into the truck and I slam it into reverse, and the truck bogs out and goes backwards really fast. And so like when you pull in, I don't know if you know, but there's like this big weird thing, you go either this way or this way. I'm in this parking lot right here, and I back up real hard and I go in between the entryway, which I got stuck sideways there for a couple minutes last Friday because I backed up too far into it. I hit the gas again and I went forward. I almost went up on this curb. I turned and I almost hit this car and I went fully onto the curb there instead into the park. At that point I'm panicking and I'm angry and I'm in the car and I'm just like, I gotta get the out of this park. Like, I can't have the truck in the playground. So I just drive through around the freaking buildings. I'm trying to avoid going more into the playground. It's just such a mess.
So here's Brandy giving her side to the story. And it is very important to note, for as chaotic as this situation must have been, first of all, we're talking about a woman who is in her 30s. This is a parent. This is a grown woman who used her truck to purposely charge at children as a weapon. And beyond that, for as much as her story and what she lays out to authorities that she's the victim in all of this, remember, police say that there were plenty of witnesses and there were plenty of people with cell phones recording what happened.
So they were calling you and your children names, and so as you're walking back with your children to go to the car, one of them calls you a and which one was that?
I don't remember. It's one of those 2 boys.
Okay, you said you grabbed one of them. Okay, because they called you a bitch. And which one did you grab? Do you remember?
He had curly brown hair.
Okay.
He was taller.
White kid, black kid, Asian kid,
Could
Hispanic
have
kid.
been mixed, but it looked more white.
Looked more white. Okay.
Yeah,
And can you
really
describe?
Can't tell with mixed.
Okay, that's all right. Can you describe what you mean by grabbing him?
Like, my stepdad used to do it to me, where he would grab me by the back of the head and hold my hair and just make me bow down.
Okay, so that's what you did. Okay, and what did you say to him? You said you don't call
people names, you don't call people a you guys need to stop picking on little kids, stop beating them up and thinking it's funny. Like, it's not funny.
Okay. So you're frustrated for your children.
I'm scared for them.
You're scared for them. Okay.
My son got jumped a couple weeks ago at that bar.
Okay. Emmett? Okay. So you're scared that they were gonna be hurt today? Okay. So,
Those kids, like, most of them are taller than me. And I'm 5'6", like, I'm a pretty average height.
okay. Isn't that pretty small? Okay. What about your girls?
They're pretty small.
Pretty small as well. Okay. So after you, you tell that to the boy with the curly hair. You know, you don't call people names. You don't call me or my kids. You know.
The rest of the kids started following me. The one black boy started following me, yelling at me, chasing me to my truck and everything. So I chased him off.
Okay, can you describe that?
He followed me to my truck. I was like, you keep following me, I'm going to end up running you over because you can't come into this road right behind my truck. He got behind my truck. He was dancing behind my truck.
Okay.
I had to sit there and stare at my camera until he moved.
So you were in reverse waiting for him to move? Okay. And he was dancing behind your truck like
like that stupid
you, or?
Fortnite dance.
Okay. So, and you have a reverse camera?
Yeah.
So you were watching him through your reverse camera waiting for him to move? Okay. And he was dancing behind your truck, and then when he finally moved?
Yeah, and that's when I was just angry and I just hit the gas and I just backed up as hard as I could. Just trying to get out of there.
Okay. And when you chased him off initially, were you holding anything?
Oh, there was a broken stick, but right behind my wheel. It was all sharp and going right up into my wheel. I just got a patch on that tire. It's my last spare.
Okay. So you grabbed that.
Yeah, I literally had it broken up. It was in twigs.
Okay. And did you have that in your hand when you chased him off?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you tell him anything? Did you say anything to him when you were chasing him off? No? You didn't say you were going to kill him? You didn't say...
No. I said, if you keep going to the road, you're going to get ran over.
Okay.
Like, you can't run into a road behind a vehicle when someone's trying to leave. You can't do that. You're going to get ran over.
Okay. Alright, so, but you never said that you were going to kill him, didn't say you were going to stab him, did you threaten him in any way as you chased him? Okay. And then, so you chased him off.
I looked pretty scary, pissed off, snapping a stick that was really sharp in my hand into pieces, trying to break it up.
Okay. So, as you are coming back after chasing him, you chase him off into the park?
Mm-hmm.
Or what,
and then he came back around and got behind
where
my
into
truck
the park
again.
did you
just
chase
right up by the bathrooms.
By the bathrooms, okay.
Yeah.
So kind of like in front of your
Basically just
car,
chase them off, yeah.
So this woman is lucky, let's be honest, that she didn't kill anybody. But she is still telling the story as if she's the victim.
And so you get in your truck, and this kid that you just chased off comes back and is dancing behind your truck, antagonizing you, or
I don't know what the hell he thought, but he thought he was being funny.
Okay. And he was talking crap to you, still calling you names throughout this whole thing? Okay. So you back up, frustrated, and then...
I put it into drive and I hit
after
the
you
gas
backed up.
again, and I almost went into where those two poles in that power box was, which is right in front where you pull in. So I swerved to avoid that, and there's a car parked right here, and I'm trying to avoid that. I popped the freaking curb, and I ended up on the freaking pavement right there with my front tires right in the grass or whatever's right there. I don't know, I just wouldn't grab for a second. No traction.
Okay. Did you see any kids in front of you when you were driving
There
forward?
was kids everywhere. I was freaking out. I was scared that I hit someone.
Okay.
I was scared I was going to. I was like, oh my god, there's everyone everywhere, and trucks in the park.
So why did you go into the park and not just continue to...
I wasn't sure if anyone was going to run behind me because everyone was running everywhere. So I was just more scared about going forward and where I could see people than going backwards with just a tiny frame and all I could see is directly right where my bumper is.
Okay. Alright, so you drive forward.
I drove around the building trying to keep as close to the building as possible to stay away from the equipment. which is where I figured all the kids would, if they were smart, would go towards.
Okay, and then you drive through the grass, and then
out onto the road and.
Okay, did you go back into the parking lot, or you just go
No,
straight?
I went home.
No, I mean like when you went around the building, did you go back into the parking lot, or did you go?
I think I went off the grass into the road.
Okay, so just like over the sidewalk?
Yeah.
Okay. Into the road, and then you went.
Just took the kids home.
Took the kids home. Okay. All right. And you don't. Do you know if you hit any of the kids in the park?
I swear to God, I hope I didn't, but it doesn't. I don't think I did.
Okay. But you don't remember seeing anyone in front of your truck when you were when you went through the park?
No.
So I guess I'm just a little confused. Like, help me try to understand like how the vehicle went from reverse in the parking lot and then drive, and how come you didn't step on the brakes to go back when you started going forward?
I was just panicking. Like, I don't know, you don't really expect to pop the curb. And like, I was just so angry. I just slammed my foot on that gas, and I wasn't really thinking. I'm already just trying to focus on getting the kids home. I really wasn't thinking.
Okay.
I just hit my foot on the gas. I just kept my foot there. Just
Okay.
trying to get out. That's all I wanted to do, is just get away.
Okay.
Then, after hearing her side to the story, asking a few questions along the way, the detectives then lay out the damage that this woman caused.
Like I said, there was a lot of officers on scene.
Yeah.
Okay, a lot, because there was a lot of people on scene. Okay, and through all the investigation, through all the cameras that were recording, like in people's phones, also on houses, also at the school. What was seen was that you pull up, there was something going on between the kids. You get out. During the altercation, obviously the video, it's not made from different angles and stuff like that. Not exactly specific words can be heard, but there is yelling back and forth. You are seen grabbing the kid's hair, as you said, and then your kids go to the truck, and then you are chasing someone with a stick. I believe it was the black kid that you described, but it didn't show you breaking the stick up at all. Like you were just chasing with the stick.
No, the stick got broke.
Okay. So after that, you get back in your truck, you back up, and then you accelerate through the park. Seems pretty intentional. Kids were jumping out of the way. You ran over one kid, and luckily she's alive. And then you leave. Okay.
Are they okay?
They will be, but you did strike a child with your vehicle. The statements that were heard on scene were that you told someone that you were going to run them over and that you were going to kill them, and based on what was heard that you said, and based on the video evidence with you hitting the child and you threatening to harm another child, we're going off that. So I know you were advised that you're under arrest. So I'm just re-advising you that you are under arrest.
Right.
For some pretty serious charges.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have a lot of processing that we have to do. Okay.
I'm sorry. I didn't know I hit someone. I never wanted to hit anyone. I never wanted to hit anyone. I was just supposed to pick them up and take them home. I was supposed to be watching Aquaman and making a pot roast for tomorrow. No. I never wanted to hit anyone.
Brittany Goach was arrested and charged initially with 6 counts of endangerment, 4 counts of aggravated assault, 2 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and the big one, 1 count of first-degree attempted murder for what she did at this park. Now here's the moment. It's hours after that interrogation, technically the next day, that she is put under arrest.
Alright, it's time to go. Do me a favor, stand up, face this wall right here. Just put your hands behind your back and put your palms together like you're praying. There you go, just like that. Alright, we'll go right out this door.
But then, months later, this case came to a conclusion. This mom was facing the possibility of spending perhaps the majority of the rest of her life behind bars, especially on that attempted murder charge that she was initially facing. So she decided to plead guilty to 3 counts of aggravated assault, but by no means did she skirt a severe punishment. She was sentenced to 10 years in prison. It certainly could have been more, but when you think about it, this is a woman who's a mom. 10 years of her kid's life, if she serves the full length of her sentence, she will be behind bars, and she'll be in her 40s by the time she gets out. All because of what she did in a very small amount of time when you think about it. One day in a park, picking up her kids, frankly, because she couldn't just walk away. That will do it for On the Case, presented by Law and Crime. Subscribe to us on YouTube and Spotify. I'm Chris Stewart. We'll see you next time.